everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I decided to do a video about the books that I have been reading during this lockdown. The first book that I want to talk about is Simply Zola. It's actually a cookbook which I got, I think, around 2018 when I started exploring a new way of cooking and making food. And yeah, I stopped using this book for a number of reasons. Valid or not, there are still reasons. And one of the first reasons why I got discouraged was that some of the recipes in here are just recipes and no serving suggestions. I always say to my friends that the most important line in any book is the one that says serve with. So for example, I tried this recipe. I think it was one of the first recipes that I tried, and it's chicken and grape casserole. It didn't quite, I don't know which step I missed, but it didn't quite come out the way I had hoped that it would come out. And then I also had difficulty figuring out what would go with this grape and chicken casseroles. Like, okay, maybe because I was a new cook, well, I was learning how to cook, I needed those serving suggestions, so I lost interest in this book. But then I revisited it now in the lockdown because I was interested in making dishes with barley. It's a grain that I discovered last year, 2019, and I wanted to know more, like how can I use it more in my cooking and whatnot. And Zola here, her book had a salad which uses barley, and it turned out very nice. The salad, I tried it and it turned out very nice, and so I was like, oh, maybe I can try more dishes out of this. So yeah, Simply Zola. Another reason why I think I stopped using this book was it was very new and it just broke the back. So I was like, I don't like this book anymore. So yeah, that's Simply Zola. Tried this as well. Potato skewers, they're very nice, very easy to make. The recipes that I've tried, except for the chicken, turned out very well, and they were very delicious, and I think they're not too complicated. The ingredients are very easy to find, but I just don't like the fact that a cookbook does not come with serving suggestions. So yeah, that's Simply Zola. The next book that I read was a book that is, I think, this author is the most respected author, I think, in Africa, to come out of Africa and write English literature. I'm very embarrassed that it took me this long to read and to connect with this book, but I think maybe it's a book that I read at the wrong time in my life. I don't know if that's even a thing, but this is the book. Top 100 books of the 20th century, written by an African person writing in the English language. Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. I think even Mandela read this book in prison. But for me, I found that I think I struggled with finishing this book because I didn't connect with the main character, which is Ogongo. This guy was just so impatient. I didn't like him at all. He was impatient, he was irrational, intolerant, but he was highly principled. Like, he was very principled. He respected his traditions. He wanted to be the best. I just felt that he had many issues that I could not maybe sympathize with at the time. That's why I think I read it at the wrong time of my life. Maybe I don't want to ruin it for anyone who wants to read this, but I wasn't shocked that Okonko, like the way it ended his life and so on. I didn't connect with that guy. That's all. Then I read this book, The F Word. I also bought this, I think in 2018 or 17, just when it was released. I actually follow this lady, Lily Pebbles, is a blogger and an Instagram person, influencer. So yeah, I bought this book just after it was released because I was highly influenced. First of all, it's such a nice book. I mean, it's beautiful to look at, beautiful design of the cover. Secondly, it's about friendship, and it says here that the F word is a celebration of female friendships, all strings attached. And as women, we go through a lot of friendships, which means so much to us, but we don't realize that friendships are actually just as important as like any other relationship. I mean, they count for so much. She says here that they might be complex and emotional, but they're the mini love stories that make us who we are. They move us into new houses, out of bad relationships, through births and illnesses, and they shape us into the women we want to become. And how true is that? I mean, throughout a woman's life, one would say the best moment that they share would normally be with their friends. I mean, think about if you're getting married, the bridal showers, the baby showers that come when you're expecting, those are very meaningful things that only women do for each other. I actually discussed what I was reading with other people. For example, the biggest conversation that I had with other people was something that she calls the BFFN, which is the best friend for now. That's someone who comes into your life and they just blow you away, and they take you to new places, they introduce you to new things, new food, new ways of shopping, or like new activities. They take you hiking, and you at that time maybe you were not even a hiking person. So a lot of people experience that in their lives, and some are still wondering, am I with this new friend of mine? Is she a best friend for now or not? Because we talk every day, we make plans. I've ignored all my other friends, and I'm just so focused on this girl, and I love her so much. But yeah, sometimes we have to accept that people have moved on. They were there for a reason or a season. And yeah, that was very interesting. The stories that people shared about their BFFNs was very interesting, and somehow to an extent a little painful, because most BFFNs, they just drop you and you don't know why. So that was very interesting to look into. And most of this book is about positive things. So even with toxic friendships, she suggests that you talk it through. She suggests ways to deal with toxic people, and I didn't agree with that at all. I think if you're in a toxic relationship and it makes you doubt yourself, it's always best to exit. It's a great one. It's available on Take a Lot. It's available on Take a Lot on paperback. I got the hardcover. So that's the F word. And after that, I decided I have a lot of books that I have not read, and most of them were acquired in 2018. I don't know why I was buying so many books. But this one, Patchwork by Ellen Banda Aku. So basically, this book is about a girl called Pumpkin, who lives with her mom. Her mom is a very beautiful woman. She's said to be the queen of Tudukot because she was very stylish. Her father gave the mother a lot of money. She had all the nice things, but there are some relationship issues that her mother suffers. Her mother goes through with her father, and eventually Pumpkin has to live. I'm trying not to ruin the story. So Pumpkin has to live with her dad, and when she gets there to her father's home, she now has to live with, I think, 5 other brothers, and her father is rich. He has a farm and many workers, and Pumpkin gets close to the lady who is what can I say, the helper in the house, the main helper in the house, and they get very close. She teaches her a lot of things. The reason why this is called patchwork is Pumpkin used to tell a lot of lies. But those lies she tells because she's got issues, this child. And the way she tells these lies, she told a lie about her mother's boyfriend after they separated with the dad, and the truth came out. And so Cece is the lady that she's close with at her father's home. Sits her down and says, listen, if you keep telling lies, you need to go back and tell the truth, or if you keep making a mistake, you need to go back and tell the truth and mend it. But so she gave an illustration about how if you have a hole in your dress, you patch it. You find a cloth and you patch it, and then that's like a mistake. You don't throw away the dress, but you patch it. So fixing your mistake is like that patchwork. But if you keep making mistakes and you don't learn, if you keep making mistakes over and over, especially lies, if you keep lying, you have to keep patching, you have to keep patching and fixing and correcting your mistakes and so on. So eventually you will have a big piece of patchwork, but it wouldn't look nice because now you've taken away the original look of the garment or the item that you're busy patching. So that's the meaning behind the story behind the kind of getting into the title of the book. Actually, the patchwork is around Pumpkin's father. The love that Pumpkin had for this guy. The mother also was very much in love with this man, and Pumpkin's grandmother was also bitter about something about this man. I think he broke her heart. I think my theory is that Pumpkin's grandmother had a thing with Pumpkin's dad, and Pumpkin's dad broke her heart. She says here, weaving together the stories of 3 generations of women, this novel is a patchwork of love, jealousy, and human frailty, set against the backdrop of war and political ambition. The remarkable journey that takes us deep into the heart of a family, both fractured and bound together by their love for one man, which is Pumpkin's father. He's quite a character. Anyway, so those are the books that I read during the first 5 weeks of the South African lockdown. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, please subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you so much for watching this video, and please leave your comments. Maybe recommend a book for me, or let's talk about books. Thank you so much. Bye.